permission.
Ok, viva la democrazia.
Io ho problemi con l'alloggio ancora, infatti devo scappare a casa dopo. Ecco.
E perché?
Perché ancora l'università non mi ha dato la casa che mi spetta di diritto. Ti mancano 8 posti nella graduatoria.
Questo lo togliamo dalla registrazione.
Questo sì.
C'è John!
Sì.
Ciao!
Questo lo togliamo.
Allora, bello,
Ma questo lo era,
No, questo no!
Only us
manca una surroga.
or with Erica is coming also.
No.
Just us.
Just for Farby.
The far view.
Why you need Erica?
No.
Okay.
You want Erica with you?
No.
I thought she was coming, that's all.
No, it will be 4-3-3. Actually, we could. I mean, if you want Erica, we could do 5 and 5.
No, that's alright. That's fine.
Oh, you like Erica?
No!
No,
It's just because actually I'm curious about it. I want to hear what she's gonna say. That's all.
that's interesting. We'll call her. Yes, go ahead. Or you can
come in after.
You can come in after.
Nope, okay.
Okay, you can come in after. So
Dopo mi
don't
ammazza.
leave. Come dopo ti ammazzo? Anyway,
We have someone here.
anyway.
That's the best part.
Did you like? Let's start with. It was nice actually. Today I bumped into the director of your department, Professor Mustafa, and I told him about the good group that we had, that you attended very nicely, very active group, and he was very happy. He said, "Oh, finalmente qualcosa di buono." So anyway, so today's the day you can show that your performance was a good performance in class, and we want to perform nicely in at the oral as well, at the exam as well. But I can see that you had the European language portfolio in front of you, so I want to start with this.
Oh.
Antonio, do you have it with you?
Yeah, over there in the back.
Over there. Do you want to get your bag? And tell us something about your experience with the portfolio. Did you write your notes? What kind of notes you actually wrote? Do you think that you will continue using it? Do you think that it was useful
actually for me
you?
it was interesting because it's the first time that I've seen like this structure. I knew it existed, but I wasn't actually aware of the components. So it was nice, like, to have an interactive book with which I could see my level and be able to measure what are the advantages of my work.
Mhm.
So I think it's useful, and for me it was something new.
Okay. Do you think that you will keep on using it?
Yeah, like reference. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's helpful actually.
And what about the passport, the small booklet? Do you remember that I told you that
Yeah.
it has a special value?
Yeah, because it's some way like to certify our level and be able like to an easy way for somebody else to know in what level are we. So
Okay.
yeah, I think it's comfortable because sometimes it is very difficult when you're asked like what's your level, and like you don't know how to express yourself. Maybe you just know how to talk or you know how to write, but you actually cannot measure yourself in a level, under a level, and this is helpful for that. So.
And don't forget that this is for self-evaluation, your
Yeah.
personal evaluation, but it's also like a portfolio, your documents. You
Yeah.
can. So if you want, very often, students ask us for an attestato. In your case, you don't need it. You can use your passport. You can put a stamp and a signature on it at the end of this exam, if you
Yeah.
want. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this is something that if you have an interview, you can. What about you? Did you use it?
No, ma'am, I don't have this because unfortunately I didn't get that class.
Ah,
That's right.
okay. You should have asked me because, and actually we could give it to you. But did you have the chance to talk with the other students and maybe get impressions from them about the
No, ma'am.
usefulness?
No, actually I didn't discuss.
That's a pity, but maybe you can tell us more about the ELP.
Actually, I use the portfolio, but I didn't use this for English, but for Deutsch,
Ah,
another language.
Why?
Because now I know that I forget Deutsch, for example,
Okay.
through the self-assessment. Maybe in the past I was a B1 level in Deutsch. Now maybe A2. I don't know. But for in my mind, it's very interesting this because when we'll be graduated and we will go in some companies, they could assess our level easier than other way.
Otherwise, you haven't performed in your exam. You have just started taking your exam. But what do you think your level in English can be?
I think my level is B1.
You have a B1. You're thinking of a
I
B1.
hope.
And what do you think you needed to improve?
The
terms of
grammar
skills.
aspects, because maybe I'm lucky because I have good fluently, but I make a lot of grammar mistakes in my mind. And
Do you think the course was useful in general?
yes, is stimulating, and
Will you write all? Will you fill it in all this information, all the information about English at this point, and not only German? Do you think you will be using the proof for English
yes.
as well?
yes, but I use
English
also
as
for
well.
this.
Ah, okay.
I have used
Okay, good. No,
But
for some
also
reasons.
for Deutsch.
So for two languages,
languages.
you can actually use it for any language that you want. Thank you. What about you?
Until this moment, I used the portfolio a few times, but I think that it is useful for me because it can permit me to see my improvements in speaking English, in writing English, listen to English, and I think that during this course I have made some improvements because I can speak to all of them in a good level of English, and in my opinion, portfolio can help me to understand if I have the possibility to go to another country and to speak English with the people of that country without many difficulties.
Okay. What level would you give yourself today?
I think that my level is B1, but I would want to improve my level for the future.
Thank you, Sandro. And your level? You didn't use the portfolio, but maybe you can self-access.
Yes, ma'am. I have also given the IELTS test, and I think that my level of English is A2, maybe. But I want to more. Sorry.
A2. We said A2. Okay.
Yes.
But you want more?
Yes, ma'am. I want to more improve this more.
Okay. For sure. Let's start with you. Did you just some opinions on? Okay, some opinions on your essay. Did you like the topics?
Yes, ma'am.
So you,
Yes, of course. Yes, I like that. because I saw the video, the way that Henken take the interview very in very interesting situation. Like he judged the candidate, that how a candidate can perform like in emergency, in other conditions, like how he can perform in critical conditions. That what a candidate have the abilities to perform in the real field. In spite of testing his educational documents, seeing his marks, asking about his educational achievements.
Do you think it is very common
Yes,
to
ma'am.
have interviews in this with this approach?
No, ma'am. I think this is not common, because every time when you go for an interview, they mostly talk about your educational documents, your marks, your percentages, your grades. But this is the a unique way to test a candidate, and I like that so much.
Okay, very good. Okay. Now, let's get to the projects. I see that you have a mind map with your
Yes.
stand. You want to tell us what
Yes.
the topic is about? You want to show, share with the rest of the students?
Yes, I hope you.
Stancio or
You will
Stania?
not.
Stania.
Stania.
Stania. Okay.
Yes. So today I'm going to talk about the teamwork.
Can we see your mind map
Yes.
for a second? Okay. We will give it back to you. Okay.
Yes, and I've decided to talk about this topic because, for example, if you go on Google, on the internet, you can see a lot of statistics which talk about the working team, and a lot of, for example, I've found a British survey, on British establishments company, and the 47% of these companies use the 90% of their workforce to use the team for their work. And I hope I don't want to bore you today, so I decided to talk about through an experiment.
You called it pay for study. What is it?
First of all, what is the free riding? The free riding is the main problem that emerges when you work in team, because an employer is not able to assess your efforts level, and maybe one member of the team could decide to be crafty or clever, and could decide to take advantage from the others' efforts. Because
sorry if I interrupt you. You're mentioning here peer pressure. What is peer pressure?
It's a way to avoid it, to overcome the free riding, this problem of free riding, because.
And tell us more about free riding. What is free riding, in your own words?
In my, for example, if I work with Santo, for example, I decided to maybe I will not work, and I will take advantage to his efforts, and you teacher couldn't see if the results is mine or yours, for example. Or lasciamo stare.
Can it be compared to cooperative learning? Cooperative learning.
Yes. We can compare.
Okay. Okay. Stania. Okay. It's okay. Antonio, do you have a topic with you? Do you have a project?
Yeah,
Or something you want to talk about?
I was actually gonna talk about money.
Ah.
Okay, so basically my topic is about the evolution of money, but from a economic perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So, for starters, we have to understand three characteristics of the money. The first one is that it has to be a way that has a way to exchange goods and services, and that has to be durable in time. It has to have people have to have faith. Yeah, this is a bill from Colombia, and this is a credit card. And so I collect money from some places where I travel.
Sure.
The thing is that I'm planning to work for my thesis on electronic money. And what I've seen is that the money has had this evolution in which we are moving towards electronic money, like a credit card. Okay, but what's the problem? Why do we sustain with this kind of money? Is because there is a small but big problem, which is the control, and which is the possibility to create, to make defaults, create and destroy money on cyber attacks and stuff like that. So there are many companies, private initiatives that are trying to achieve the goal to have an electronic money that works and that is 100% secure. For example, last year Apple brought out its electronic cell phone money use, and for example Samsung and Google has Google Wallet. So what's going to happen in the future once there's a company that can actually nail on this topic and that has a good way, a cheap and good way to control this? The government might take, as when it happened when the bills came out, they're going to take the property to use this. Maybe it will not be enforced at the beginning, but it will be with a multi-billionaire contract with this company, and we will start using electronic money 100%. Now, why is this important for the economy, or in this case, why would I like to study this for my thesis? Is actually because in economy we have a little problem with emission of money, which is called inflation. The more amount of money there is in the market, or the money mass on the market, the goods and services become more expensive because of the knowledge of the people that in the market there's more money. So everyone wants a bigger piece of the pie. And governments, for example, in under crisis, if they go through the street of Maynard Keynes, which is an economist, a British economist, who explains about the importance on a crisis of government expanding, money has to be used by transfers. So the problem is inflation. Electronic money becomes handy in this case because the government can reduce the cost of emission of money at the cost of the recovery of money, but also can adjust the destruction of money, which is something that we cannot do now. Every bill that is made and that comes out to the market, even if the government brings it back, for example, to the vaults, to the main vaults, the money is still there. So people know there's money. So there's no deflation. But in case with electronic money, you can actually show people that the money mass on the market is lower, so the prices will have to go down. And I believe that I will have to show it, but I believe that will solve the problem of inflation and money creation.
Thank you. Yeah. You have Dan Brown instead.
I decided to talk about Dan Brown because I think that he can
You
be
lose your money. Credit card.
he can be considered as a great writer because through his novels he is able to teach us many things about many fields such as art, history, geography, because in all his novels he makes us an accurate description of every monument, every building, every person, because he thinks that everything has some characteristics that make it unique in the world. Unique in the world. Dan Brown wrote 6 novels. The first was Digital Fortress or Crypto, Angels and Demons, The Deception Final, The Da Vinci Code, The Lost Symbol, and Inferno. The most important novel is Da Vinci Code. In fact, it is considered as a bestseller, which is 80 million copies sold. And through these novels, also the others one took a great importance in the interest of the public.
What about his writing style? You mentioned it's one of your. It's one of the aspects that you want to cover.
His style is very simple and also in some ways funny, because with
Is it in Italian or in English? What language do you read?
Italian.
That would be ideal.
I didn't read in English, but
maybe
in the future.
Maybe in the future. Because
if
I think it will be
I
important.
improve my English,
because obviously it will obviously be the writing style of the translator. But
I can say that I think that his language is simple
very
and
simple and
fun.
If you imagine that you want to suggest one of your friends to read his novels, what would you tell in a very
About
spontaneous way?
this
Yes,
author.
Brown. Yes.
I
Tell Antonio. Encourage Antonio to read.
I could say him that this author uses many flashbacks and digressions in every story that he tells.
So read it.
Apparently they aren't useful for the meaning of the story, but at a certain point of the novel itself, they assume a particular role behind the story. And this
Did
is
you read Daniel Goleman, by the way? Did you read any book by Goleman?
No,
No,
I didn't.
You watched the video, but
I didn't.
okay.
I'm convinced.
You are so.
I'll read it.
And you got, you
I will
that
read
down.
a novel, a book of Daniel Goleman
That
in the
would be,
future.
yeah. Okay. How many? What books did you read by Brown?
I read Angels and Demons. That is my favorite book, and also Inferno. But Inferno isn't less interesting than Angels and Demons.
Thank you, Santo. And Mohammed, your topic.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Social networking.
Yes, ma'am. My topic is about social networking. In this topic, I will discuss the advantages, disadvantages, facts of social networking, and how this social networking is affecting the world. Like, first of all, I will give the introduction. Social networks are the most highest trends which are used from the last few years. These provide a continuous conversation with your friends. You can also find the career opportunities through these social networking. In disadvantages, like you spend the time on these social networks, you can make a better use of that time to another activities. Before before using these social networks, we have to see some advantages and disadvantages. Like in advantages,